Okay. Oh, Riker, you need to go back. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to talk about the physical and chemical properties of paper. We're going to start with physical properties. So physical properties are things we can observe about paper without changing it into something else. So, what are some physical properties of paper? Okay, Zoe? It's thin. Okay. Paisley, did you have something else? Okay. Sorry, say that louder. Oh, made of wood? Yes. Okay. Addison? White. At least the paper I'm holding now is white. Can be different colors, but this one is white. Okay. Other physical properties. Sorry, say that louder. Light. Oh yeah, it's not very much mass. Light. Okay. Melissa? Sorry, a little louder. It's a rectangle. Okay, so it's in the shape of a rectangle. Okay, you can write on it. So here's something you may or may not know. When you write on a paper, it is not a chemical change. Okay, you do not change it into a new substance, even though it has like writing on it after you do so. Those substances actually have not chemically combined, and so it's not a new substance, and so it is a physical property. Yeah, let's keep it. Sorry. Oh, smooth. Yes, smooth is a good one. Zoe? Sharp edges. Oh. All right, so far that's a pretty good list of physical properties. I could add a couple. It is very tearable, right? So easily torn could be one. Let's see. And this does change its appearance, but it's still paper even after I tear it. And so it is still a physical property, easily torn. Foldable. Yeah, Braxton. No, it actually becomes carbon dioxide, water, and ash when you burn it. But we were about to move on to chemical properties anyway. So Braxton started us off. When burned, changes to ash, water, and carbon dioxide. Now, you don't necessarily have to know those things, but you should know that it turns to a new substance. So you could say when burned changes to a new substance. I just happen to know what substances it changes into. Can anyone think of another chemical property of paper? Yes, paper. Soaking in water. So that one is commonly thought of a chemical property. but it's actually not, because it absorbs the water, but then if you leave it out, the water will dry out and you get left behind a paper still. And so that one, it's actually a physical property of it, that it can soak up water. It still remains a paper in the end when you soak it with water. Okay, any other ones? Chemical properties are definitely the harder ones to think of. What happens if a paper is left in the ground for hundreds of years? Riker? Becomes moldy and decomposes, right? So decomposes over time. Yeah, so when something decomposes, it is changing from one thing to another. In most cases, it's changing into dirt. But that would be a chemical property, is decomposing. Okay. Yes. Yeah, disintegrate it, like with acid, right? Yeah. I was actually thinking about that one, so nice. So acid dissolves paper. Okay, so acid will dissolve paper, change it into another substance. That's the three that I could easily think of. Anyone have another one they can think of? Yeah, Riker? Like the water spreads? Okay, so that's more of a physical property of it. I would say can disperse water. Okay. Yeah, it looks like maybe that's all that anyone has another idea. Okay. So that's physical and chemical properties. Remember, a chemical property, the object or the substance has to change to something new after it's done. Otherwise, it's not a chemical property.